Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 466 based on novel. So let's start. Luo Feng was furious. The two areas he was responsible for were close to two miniature universes, both of which belonged to weak true gods. Theoretically, the sector beast should have arrived outside those two miniature universes, and once it arrived, Luo Feng would show up immediately and kill it. But it had been 11 years. And he still hadn't encountered a sector beast once. Milky Way, said Divine Eye True Master. We definitely didn't disclose any of your traces to Shinjo Emperor and Dragon Rock Ancestral God. You said that they are on the sector beast side. How could we reveal any information to them? Skeleton Master sent a message. We didn't reveal anything. Only those true gods know clues of your whereabouts, and not even those universe masters are aware of your tracks. As for the two small universes of Dragon Rock Ancestral God and Shinjo Emperor, they were eliminated a long time ago, and we've given an order to every great being under us that they can't be in contact with those two miniature universes at all. Luo Feng, Skeleton Master, Divine Eye True Master, Nine-Headed Devil Master, Beikai Star Master, and Primal Chaos City Leader. The 8 great overlords in Universe Ocean were talking. It's been 11 years, but I have never met that sector beast, said Luo Feng furiously. It has been to the miniature universes of those weak true gods. Why hasn't it come to the two miniature universes closest to me? Twice or 3 times might be explainable. However, it had been 20 times in the past 11 years. Generally, great beings from the original universe could get to their miniature universes from the original universe through a universe portal, so they could get there to help at the fastest speed possible. That was why the sector beast had never attacked the miniature universes of great beings from the original universe era. Instead, it exploited those from the first and the second universe eras. There were originally only a limited number of true gods from the first and the second universe era, and after the screening in the world of Jin, the number had decreased. The number of weaker individuals was even smaller. The sector beast had tried to swallow miniature universes 20 times, but it hadn't been to the miniature universes Luo Feng was responsible for once. He knew that there was a problem. The 8 great overlords discussed the matter. It can't be coincidental. That sector beast must have known in advance. How did it know our arrangements? They are our mortal enemies, so the great beings under us would never tell them our arrangements. There's only one possibility, said Luo Feng coldly. That in Universe Ocean, another true god went to seek the patronage of the sector beasts other than Great Thunder Star Master, Shinjo Emperor, and Dragon Rock Ancestral God. Because some other true gods betrayed us, that sector beast knows about our arrangements, including where I am. All the other 7 went quiet. They had already considered this possibility, but they were reluctant to believe it. That's right. 9 Remoteness True Master sent a message. Since Shinjo Emperor and the other 2 betrayed us and sought refuge with the sector beasts, other true gods might do the same thing. Perhaps some of them turned their backs on us a long time ago, while others have done so more recently. More recently? In the past decade or so? 9 Remoteness True Master continued, sector beasts are far too great a threat. They keep swallowing and swallowing, which can make true gods desperate. Some true gods think we can't fight them. Even if we can, many weak true gods will be killed before then. Some true gods might have secretly turned their backs on us and sought refuge from sector beasts. Perhaps they claimed that sector beasts were swallowing the origins of their miniature universes, but actually, the sector beast was just pretending, deceiving us so that nobody knows who the spy is. That's right. Makes sense. Okay. Luo Feng also agreed. The sector beasts had many techniques, which indeed was a headache for all the great beings in Universe Ocean. However, it was only one sector beast. In the face of such despair, some true gods might follow Shinjo Emperor and Dragon Rock Emperor and turn to the sector beasts. Now that this is the case, Luo Feng sent the message. From now on, although we'll publicize our arrangements, they will be fake. I'll act independently. Nobody will know where I'm going to accept me. I'll make sure that the sector beast can't get away. Then do it, Milky Way. You can do anything you want. Not even the 7 of us will know your route. Nobody will leak anything then. After the meeting among the 8 great overlords, they confirmed that other than Shinjo Emperor and Dragon Rock Ancestral God, some other true gods in Universe Ocean had turned to the sector beasts. Of course, Luo Feng and the others started to think of some new plans. Luo Feng's remote ocean body and Mosha body were on the same team, while the golden horned beast represented a team of its own. They both started to act. They immediately left their original locations and arrived at the new targeted areas, waiting for the Sector Beast to come. In the chaos space of Universe Ocean, Sector Beast Morosa floated in the air. I'm so smart. Every time, I only swallow the origin of a miniature universe for one day so that they won't be able to arrive in time to surround me. Ha ha. I've swallowed universe origins so many times. Altogether, I've swallowed almost 3 origins of miniature universes. Sector Beast Morosa was smug. My power is far stronger than when I left the nest. Where should I go this time? The Sector Beast considered. What about the miniature universes of the original universe era? The original universe era was the most powerful era and had the largest number of true gods. Besides, they could get to their miniature universes through universe portals immediately, and also, those miniature universes were close to the original universe. If it went after one of those, it would be immediately encircled by a large group of true gods once it got there. As for the second universe era? The first universe era? Sector Beast Morosa had been to all the universe eras it could get to. It avoided those that stuck together, like the miniature universes of the several true gods from the Divine Eye clan, or those who were extremely powerful, like Juhi True God, or the miniature universes guarded by Luo Feng. Although I'm much more powerful than I was before, thought Sector Beast Morosa. I'm still only as powerful as Nine-Headed Devil Master. Last time, I was obviously weaker than him. As for that Milky Way Horde leader Luo Feng, he is said to be the strongest great being in Universe Ocean. It's not the time to fight him now. The Sector Beast made a decision. I'll go to the Holy Land. Holy Lands are superior. Although it has stronger resistance and I'll swallow it more slowly, I can at least try the taste first. I'll try the Holy Land origin and see how much tastier it is than the origin of a miniature universe. The Sector Beast immediately rushed to the miniature universe of Purple Moon Holy Land, and in less than 2 days, the Sector Beast had arrived at the space outside the miniature universe of Purple Moon Holy Land. Purple Moon Holy Land. The Sector Beast looked into the distance and could see the blurry, giant contour. Comparatively, it's smaller than East Emperor Holy Land. But it's easier to deal with. Black mist permeated from its entire body, and at the same time, traces of light extended toward Purple Moon Holy Land in the distance, the Sector Beast at the center. They extended 100 million light-years along and permeated the space. Soon, gleaming light was transferred into its body. Oh. Ah. Sector Beast Morosa couldn't help shaking its body. It closed its eyes, enjoying the moment. This is exquisite. It's heaven, Sector Beast Morosa whispered, its voice trembling. This is much tastier than the origins of miniature universes. Besides, I can swallow the origin of the miniature universe of this Purple Moon Holy Land just as fast as I swallowed the origins of the other miniature universes. After just an instant, Sector Beast Morosa felt that the origin of Purple Moon Holy Land suddenly had much stronger resistance. It could swallow the origin much slower. When it came to speed, it dropped to only 1/100th the speed at which it swallowed the origins of other miniature universes. Inside Purple Moon Holy Land. Come now. A rumbling voice echoed in the ears of all the universe masters and true gods in Purple Moon Holy Land at the same time. All the top-tier great beings from Purple Moon Holy Land immediately followed the voice. In the palace, Purple Moon Ancestor stood there. He had lost his previous chills. He looked ashen, anxious, and furious. These were emotions he had never displayed before. Even if he failed at killing Luo Feng, even if all the elite universe masters from Purple Moon Holy Land were killed in the world of Jin, he hadn't been so angry, worried, and unsettled. Worried. He, Purple Moon Ancestor, was worried sick. What can we do? What can we do? Fretted Purple Moon Ancestor. It has come. It has finally come. I knew the Sector Beast would come out someday. All this time, it's been swallowing the miniature universes of all those true gods, but now, it's finally my turn. Although I've tried my best, I can only slow it down to 1/100th its original speed, but that's not enough. No matter how slow it is, it will still be able to swallow my entire miniature universe if it has enough time. In time, my universe will crumble. Then I'll be screwed. All of Purple Moon Holy Land was anxious. Ancestor. Beings flew in from the outside, and soon, over 100 universe masters and 2 true gods showed up. They were all respectful. Purple Moon Ancestor looked down and said furiously, "At this moment, that Sector Beast has arrived right outside Purple Moon Holy Land universe. Sector Beasts have come. Right outside our Holy Land? The Sector Beast has finally arrived." Everyone down there panicked. Even though there were over 100 Universe Masters and 2 true gods, nobody could say for sure that they could fight a Sector Beast. "Go now," yelled Purple Moon Ancestor. "Whoever has a Soul Supreme True Treasure, go! Get in your Supreme True Treasure Palace, leave Purple Moon Holy Land, and go deal with that Sector Beast." "Ancestor, we're not that Sector Beast's match. We can't deal with it." Everyone responded negatively, but Purple Moon Ancestor kept yelling, "Of course. I know you can't rival it. That is why I tell you to hide in a Supreme True Treasure Palace. I only want you to slow the Sector Beast down. Besides, tell everyone in Universe Ocean and let them know the Sector Beast is here." "Ancestor," said a Universe Master in red armor. "We have a bad relationship with the humans, who are the first power in Universe Ocean, and Milky Way Horde leader is the strongest great being. Will Luo Feng come? And besides, the 8 great beings from Universe Ocean regard Luo Feng as their leader. If Luo Feng tried to stop them, would those true gods actually come?" said that Universe Master in fiery armor. All the other great beings from Purple Moon Holy Land standing around were worried about the same thing. Purple Moon Ancestor, standing in the palace, looked ashen. He glanced around those before him, and nobody in the palace dared to say anything. Instead, they remained quiet. It was silent. Dead silent. Purple Moon Ancestor stayed silent for a long time before saying, "Just go and halt that Sector Beast, and send that message. You don't need to worry about other issues." "Yes," answered everyone down there. 6 great beings, including the 2 true gods, flew out. Some of them had soul-type supreme true treasures, and some were from the subsidiary races of Purple Moon Holy Land. They weren't afraid of soul attacks, as they had no souls. Humph! Purple Moon Ancestor's face turned pale with rage, seeing that only 6 great beings had left. Since the battle in the world of Jin, all the elites working under him were dead, and the true treasures carried by all those Universe Masters were lost. Now, Purple Moon Holy Land was destitute. The Divine Eye clan and the skeleton race may have been richer than they were. Luo Feng. Purple Moon Ancestor was hesitant. He had suppressed the human race and sought to kill Luo Feng before. That made him the enemy of the human race. In the world of Jin, Luo Feng had killed a large group of Universe Masters from Purple Moon Holy Land. All the valuables carried by those Universe Masters had been lost in the world of Jin. They had suffered a great loss. And the grudge between the 2 powers only grew. Now, humans were the first power in Universe Ocean. Luo Feng was the strongest great being in Universe Ocean. The Sector Beast crisis required Luo Feng. Luo Feng, Purple Moon Ancestor, was terribly upset. A 9-level tower floated in the chaos airspace in Universe Ocean. Inside the tower, Luo Feng stood gazing into the space outside. As for Hong and Fire Dome, they both sat with their legs crossed beside him, immersed in their training. "Huh?" Luo Feng moved his eyebrows. He waved his hands, and a communications token showed up. "Divine Eye True God? Juhi True God? Why did they both send me a message at the same time?" Luo Feng was confused. "Milky Way, Juhi True Master also sent you a message?" It seems that he got the message from Purple Moon Holy Land as well. "Divine Eye True Master sent the message. Both Juhi and I have some connections with Purple Moon Holy Land. Just now, Purple Moon Holy Land sent us a message that the Sector Beast showed up right outside Purple Moon Holy Land." Luo Feng said, "Oh? Outside Purple Moon Holy Land? The 2 beings from Purple Moon Holy Land who can resist it are the 2 true gods," said Juhi True God. "A large group of Universe Masters from Purple Moon Holy Land died in the world of Jin, and their valuables are lost there. After that, they don't even dare to go to the world of Jin. Without machine-type valuables, those 2 true gods are just mediocre. They are not the Sector Beast's match." Luo Feng sneered. They were as crazy and reckless they could be. Now what? What do they want? Luo Feng sent a message back. "The message is very simple. They want us to deal with that Sector Beast," said Divine Eye True Master. "Milky Way, should we go or not?" "Milky Way?" asked Juhi True God. The other 7 great overlords regarded Luo Feng as their leader, and besides, humans were the #1 power in Universe Ocean. As for the two Holy Lands, East Emperor Holy Land wasn't an enemy of the humans, so they were doing fine. As for Purple Moon Holy Land, they didn't even have a machine type valuable, so they couldn't even rival the Divine Eye race or the Skeleton race, let alone the humans. Besides, neither Juhi True God nor Divine Eye True Master cared about Purple Moon Holy Land. The only thing they were worried about was the Sector Beast crisis. After all, they were the enemies of everyone in Universe Ocean. Tell Purple Moon Ancestor, said Luo Feng indifferently. Give me the component of a true treasure, and I'll help him. Otherwise. Humph. A component of a true treasure? What component of a true treasure? Juhi True God and Divine Eye True Master were both confused. Just send the message, said Luo Feng. Purple Moon Ancestor will know what I'm talking about. Okay, Divine Eye True Master and Juhi True God answered. Luo Feng's eyes appeared cold. He was hostile toward Purple Moon Holy Land, but after all, the Purple Moon Holy Land had a component of his Shawu wings, and up until now, Luo Feng hadn't thought of any other way to get it. Sector beasts were the only thing he could rely on. The Palace of Purple Moon Holy Land. Milky Way Horde leader named his price. We need to give him the component of the true treasure he needs. After that, he'll help us. Purple Moon Ancestor looked down and snorted. I knew he was going to bring that up. Luo Feng could feel the summoning power of the Shawu Wings component even if he was a billion light years away from Purple Moon Holy Land. Ordinary true gods couldn't understand what such a deal meant to the humans, but Purple Moon Ancestor did. That was why, in the past trillion eras, the humans had offered deals several times. If the humans agreed, Purple Moon Holy Land was willing to give up that component of the true treasure. Then they can get into the world of Jinn without any obstacles, yet Purple Moon Ancestor didn't agree to it. What did Divine Eye and the others say? Asked Purple Moon coldly. Divine Eye and the others don't oppose Milky Way Horde leader. All the Universe Masters standing down there felt hopeless. The Purple Moon Holy Land was no longer as it had been, and nobody cared about it. Purple Moon Ancestor kept thinking. Everyone looked anxious. They hoped their ancestor would say yes, as it was only a component. If Purple Moon Holy Land was destroyed, all of them would die. They were a race that could live forever, yet they might be annihilated instantly. Ancestor, even without the component, Milky Way Horde leader is the strongest great being. Even if he gets the component, it won't make any difference, said other great beings. That Milky Way Horde leader made us. What do you know? Snapped Purple Moon Ancestor. He glanced around coldly, and everyone went silent. Purple Moon Ancestor was silent for a long time. It made sense. He couldn't do anything to Luo Feng, and when he became a true god, he would be invincible. However, the miniature universe was tied to his own destiny. I agree, said Purple Moon Ancestor, clenching his teeth. If he helps us, I'll give him the component. Yes? Everyone was happy. This was good. If Purple Moon Holy Land could erase the grudge with the humans, the great beings, there would have a much easier time. Divine Eye True Master and Juhi True Master knew about the call for help from Purple Moon Holy Land at first. Soon, Primal Chaos City Leader and the others all learned of it. They agreed. Purple Moon Holy Land has agreed. Primal Chaos City Leader was exhilarated to find out that Purple Moon Holy Land has agreed. He went to the dimension in the virtual universe that belonged to Luo Feng. He stepped across the space. Luo Feng, Purple Moon Ancestor finally acquiesced. Luo Feng sitting on the square also stood up and smiled. Ha ha. That old guy always tried to suppress us humans. Now that he's anxious. I've been waiting for the component for such a long time, and I'm finally going to get it now. I'm going to Purple Moon Holy Land now. Okay. Primal Chaos City Leader nodded. One more thing. After getting that component, how are you going to treat Purple Moon Holy Land? I'll suppress them less harshly. Luo Feng smiled. Shawu Wing only had one last pair of wings left, and Luo Feng had been longing for it for a long time. He was certainly thrilled now. He drove Star Tower and headed toward Purple Moon Holy Land as quickly as possible. Outside Purple Moon Holy Land. Almost. Sector Beast Maroa looked at the contour of Purple Moon Holy Land in the distance and looked smug. So satisfying. No wonder this Purple Moon Holy Land is a miniature universe at a higher level. It tastes much better than the universe origins of ordinary miniature universes. However, I could only eat it slowly. It's been a day. I can't stay here any longer. Otherwise, I'll be trapped. Time to go. The sector beast teleported and disappeared. From beginning to the end, he didn't care about the two true gods hiding in the palace who tried to slow him down at all. It's gone? The four true gods and four universe masters in the supreme true treasure palace who were trying to slow down the sector beast were all overjoyed. Quick, go back and tell our ancestor. They all went back. Inside Purple Moon Holy Land, Purple Moon Ancestor couldn't help looking happy. He could sense that the sector beast had stopped swallowing the origin, and after only a short while, 6 beings flew inside the palace from outside. Ancestor, the sector beast has left. It teleported and left. The two true gods stood under there, reporting the news gladly. Purple Moon Ancestor nodded his head and said, that sector beast has been trying to swallow other miniature universes, and it's always disappeared after only one day of trying. This time, it also disappeared after a day. It's normal. If Milky Way Horde leader Luo Feng comes and asks for that component, just tell him I don't have it. Ah. No? Everyone was scared. We can't do that, Ancestor. What about next time? We've already had a deal. To the Universe Masters, the component was useless. They would rather give it to Luo Feng and mitigate the tensions with the humans. Purple Moon Ancestor said coldly, no need to worry. It won't make any difference. If we give it to him but Luo Feng turns his back on us, then what could we do? I was just thinking, the sector beast has been eating the origins of miniature universes, but it leaves every time after it swallows some of it. It must be very beneficial if it keeps eating the origin. The origin is a magical force, and it can maintain a miniature universe. It can even breed life forms. If sector beasts keep eating miniature universes, their power will be enhanced. Purple Moon Ancestor continued coldly. The more powerful the sector beasts are, the more difficult it is for Luo Feng to deal with them. Then the humans will die out. He won't just let the sector beast keep eating the origin. They'll panic if the sector beast keeps eating. They won't take the risk. Even if he would take the risk, his teacher, Divine Eye, and others wouldn't bet on it. Purple Moon Ancestor had calculated as much. The origin of his miniature universe was 10,000 times stronger than those of true gods, yet the sector beast ate it very slowly. Purple Moon Ancestor calculated that it might have taken tens of thousands of years for it to finish it. Besides, that sector beast wouldn't just stay in one place. Luo Feng was filled with expectation as he maneuvered Star Tower. He was on his way to Purple Moon Holy Land Universe when Divine Eye True Master sent a message. Milky Way Horde Leader. That sector beast was at the peripheral region of Purple Moon Holy Land, where, likewise, it devoured the origin for a day and then left. At the same time, Purple Moon Holy Land wanted me to inform you, Milky Way Horde Leader, that you are no longer required to go there. Luo Feng's greatly enthusiastic heart instantly cooled down. Luo Feng's expression darkened as he transmitted his response. What do you mean, no longer required to go there? What Purple Moon Holy Land meant was, the deal agreed upon previously is called off, Divine Eye True Master said helplessly. Then what about the promise they made previously? Luo Feng continued to ask in an indifferent tone. Divine Eye True Master said, the other part of the news means. The promise made earlier on was based on the condition that Milky Way Horde Leader would help them deal with the sector beast. But now, the sector beast has left of its own accord. There is no need for Milky Way Horde Leader's help in dealing with it, so, unquestionably, there is no need for them to give you a true treasure in exchange. Milky Way, honestly speaking, when they transmitted this piece of information, even I felt angry just listening to it. But, you should know. The sector beast is not only an enemy of Purple Moon Holy Land but a common enemy for all the races within Universe Ocean. I know you are filled with anger now, and you will most likely want to let the sector beast devour Purple Moon Holy Land to its heart's content. While swallowing for 8 to 10 days is no big deal, if the time it spends on devouring grows too lengthy, we cannot stand idly by any longer. I know, replied Luo Feng. I will place importance on the big picture. But spread my word. From this point on, Purple Moon Holy Land will be my, Luo Feng's, sworn enemy. Someplace far away, Divine Eye True Master was taken aback. He could also feel the intensity of that endless anger raging in Luo Feng. Milky Way, Divine Eye True Master could not help but feel worried. To deal with the sector beast, they had to depend mainly on Luo Feng. I will look at the big picture, Luo Feng said. His response sounded reasonable enough, but all the more, Divine Eye True Master felt that his words contained limitless fury. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Within Star Tower, Luo Feng's expression was hideous as he held onto his transmission token. His anger was so great that his veins were threatening to pop out and burst. Purple Moon Holy Land, Purple Moon Holy Land, his eyes flashed coldly. I wanted to give you all chance, but since you all are not appreciative, my Shawu wings would rather make do with their imperfections and make you all regret that you have done. Toward Purple Moon Holy Land, Luo Feng no longer held onto any feelings of pity. However, he was also aware that he could not allow the Sector Beast to continue devouring the origin of Purple Moon Holy Land as it pleased. After all, every time it devoured an origin, it would disappear for half a year. Various races of Universe Ocean had long suspected that the Sector Beast spent that time digesting and absorbing whatever it had swallowed to increase its power. A human grew when it consumed food. A golden horned beast grew when it ate metals. All operated on the same theory. The Sector Beast might, unfortunately, feed on the universe origin to become stronger. It seemed highly possible. Purple Moon Holy Land was, after all, a Holy Land universe of a true god of void space. That origin would likely be the equivalent of hundreds and thousands of origins of true god-level miniature universes combined. If Luo Feng allowed the Sector Beast to continue devouring like that, who knew what would be the result would be? If the Sector Beast became incomparably powerful, to the extent that no one could fight against it, then Purple Moon Holy Land could be faced with its doomsday. But if this continued, the entire human race, including Luo Feng and his family, would have to face the fate of annihilation. This was what Luo Feng could not accept. He did not dare to use the lives of family and friends, and the lives of the entire pulse of Earth, as bargaining chips. He was reluctant to gamble with them. Purple Moon Ancestor, you are indeed ruthless, said Luo Feng. You have already guessed that I would not dare to take such a gamble and that I would not risk it all just for a single piece of a true treasure. Perhaps you are not concerned about the universe masters under your command, or perhaps your Purple Moon Holy Land would prefer to continue withdrawing into passive defense. Luo Feng's gaze turned icy. But your Purple Moon Holy Land shall be my, Luo Feng's, sworn enemy, and I shall remember this. Before I achieve my breakthrough to become a true god of void space, I will definitely try to destroy your Purple Moon Holy Land. Luo Feng was bellowing the words in his heart as he spoke them. I will think of every way possible to ensure that you live to regret this. To destroy a miniature universe of a true god of void space, usually only an eternal true god executing some superior methods could achieve such a feat. This was a piece of information that Luo Feng had learned in the past. However, Purple Moon Ancestor's miniature universe was not considered large. The smallest miniature universes at the level of a true god of void space had diameters around 1 billion light-years, and the biggest could have diameters as long as 10 billion light-years. The Purple Moon Holy Land miniature universe had a diameter of 2.1 billion light-years, while East Emperor Holy Land miniature universe was 3.2 billion light-years in diameter. The size of a miniature universe was related to many different factors, including the erection of the internal structural framework when a miniature universe was established, or whether the godly power route or the law route had been chosen to become a true god. The bigger the miniature universe, the more power was provided, and the more stable it would be. For instance, the legends of true gods of void spaces had mentions of a miniature universe with a diameter of 10 billion light-years that was comparable to the lowest level miniature universe of eternal true gods. Of course, that was merely a legend. Even for an extraordinary talent who had once attained 90,000 times life genes, or even for the 3 generations of ancestors at the true god of void space stage, none of their miniature universes had ever reached 0 billion light-years. This perfect, ultimate limit was only a legend. When one was a true god of void space, it was usually unlikely for the miniature universe to be of a diameter that was merely 1 billion light-years. Normally, the size would not be so ridiculously small. Weaker true gods of void space would have miniature universes with diameters around 2 billion light-years, while stronger ones would have miniature universes with diameters around 3 billion light-years. The elite's miniature universes could reach diameters of 4 billion light-years, while those of extraordinary talents could reach around 5 billion light-years. In short, the higher level one attained on the social scale, the more difficult it was to maintain the miniature universe. As for a talent that achieved 90,000 times life genes via the godly power route, and the 3 generations of ancestors? A true god of void space with a miniature universe that had a diameter of 10 billion light-years, this was just a legend of the ancient civilization. Purple Moon's miniature universe is not big, thought Luo Feng. It's even smaller than East Emperor's. If I become a true god of void space, by relying on an automaton-type treasure and various secret techniques, I can certainly achieve an outburst to unleash the power of an eternal true god. Perhaps then I might be able to destroy Purple Moon Holy Land universe. Luo Feng made a mental note. Luo Feng's expression grew increasingly awful as he tried to contain his anger. Teacher? Luo Feng? Fire Dome and Hong were looking at Luo Feng. They felt a little worried, as they did not know what might happen next. I'm all right, Luo Feng replied. Let's go back and continue to guard against the Sector Beast. We're no longer going to Purple Moon Holy Land? Fire Dome was shocked. Not going. Luo Feng shook his head. He walked straight to the steering wheel and sat down, making no further comments. Fire Dome and Hong looked at one another as they both speculated what was going on. However, both of them soon heard the news from Primal City Chaos Leader. What they learned greatly angered them. This was outright bullying. The promise made previously had been broken in the blink of an eye. How shameless could they get? It seemed Purple Moon Ancestor was not the least bit interested in appeasing the wrath incurred by the humans and Luo Feng, not even the slightest trace of it. If that was the case, then they would be their sworn enemies. Time passed. This time, less than a month after it devoured the origin of Purple Moon Holy Land miniature universe, the Sector Beast reappeared in Universe Ocean. The timing defied the expectations of every powerful group. This time, it moved on to devouring the origin of Rampaging Devil God's miniature universe. Upon devouring the origin of one miniature universe, it disappeared for half a year. Upon devouring the origin of another miniature universe, it disappeared for another half a year. Sector Beast had resumed its attacks on miniature universes, and this worried the various races of Universe Ocean. If it went on, many miniature universes would collapse. It had been 3 years since the incident with Purple Moon Holy Land. Within the void space surrounding Sea Badger True Master's miniature universe, a silver-white vessel hung suspended in space. Luo Feng's golden horned beast body was inside the vessel. Although it was known as golden horned beast body, Luo Feng had already transformed it so that it took human form. Perhaps for common universe masters, size and form would have an impact on their power. As for Luo Feng, who had achieved 89,999 times life gene level on his godly power route, he could easily change his life structure to take on the form he would require according to the circumstances he was in. And he could also unleash his power to perfection. A piece of information was transmitted over to Luo Feng. Milky Way Horde Leader, Milky Way Horde Leader. Sector Beast has appeared outside my miniature universe now. Golden Horned Beast Luo Feng was momentarily shocked, but shortly after, he showed his delight. A message from Sea Badger True Master? Milky Way. Suddenly, Divine Eye True Master and several other true gods were sending messages over as well. Ha ha ha, laughed Golden Horned Luo Feng. After such a long wait. See, what did I say? So long as no one knows my whereabouts, I will secretly stay hidden. Then surely, there will be at least a chance of encountering this Sector Beast while it is out to devour miniature universes. Luo Feng was thrilled. What a pity it did not cross paths with the other team I deployed. Luo Feng had divided his other bodies into 2 teams this time around. One route was taken by his remote ocean body and his Mosha body, who traveled with a series of powerful treasures like Shawu Wings, Uchi God, Star Tower, and Blood Ghost Blade. The other route was taken by his Golden Horned Beast body alone. Although equipped with several automaton-type treasures in terms of the ability to unleash power, it was inferior to the other team. Even so, the automaton-type treasures that my Golden Horned Beast body possess far surpass Divine Eye True Master and Juhi True Master's treasures. Golden Horned Luo Feng was very confident. This Golden Horned Beast body has combat power that is stronger than any of them. Speaking of power, his other team was, of course, much stronger, great enough to surpass the power of all the other 7 True Masters put together. As for his Golden Horned Beast body, compared to the other 7 True Masters, it might have been slightly stronger, but the advantageous position it had over them was not obvious. Of course, given Luo Feng's comprehension and cultivation for the past trillion eras, even this ordinary Golden Horned Beast body could prove to be an extremely difficult opponent. Maybe this time around, I will be able to kill that Sector Beast. Golden Horned Luo Feng smiled. This silver vessel teleported over right away. At the same time, Luo Feng transmitted a message to Sea Badger True Master. Sea Badger, I've arrived. Arrived? Sea Badger True Master was shocked. It had only sent out the call for help a moment ago. Nonetheless, it was overjoyed. Milky Way Horde leader was the first to arrive. At least he would be able to prevent that sector beast from devouring too much. These are the coordinates of where the sector beast is. Sea Badger True Master sent the coordinates right away. Within the peripheral area of Sea Badger True Master's miniature universe, chaotic airflow was filling up the void space. A certain area within this endless chaotic airflow was filled with black fog. In the midst of it was a lofty figure. It was Sector Beast Morosa, and it stood upright, right in the middle of the black fog, waving its tail as it delightfully devoured the origin of that miniature universe. Streams of distorted light rays extended and penetrated the void space. Woo! Sector Beast Morosa was quite pleased. It felt that the whole universe ocean was its plaything. The surrounding space suddenly froze. Ceiling of space. Sector Beast Morosa was shocked. So fast. Based on its experience, anytime it was devouring a miniature universe, the master of that miniature universe, a true god, was likely to drive his palace supreme true treasure over to harass him. But the ceiling of space was highly unusual because those true gods were usually quite eager to chase him away. Why would they seal space? Only when top-tier true gods like Nine-Headed Demon Master arrived, or if a big group of true gods arrived together, would they dare to seal the space. A silver-white vessel arrived. When the cabin doors opened, a man wearing a suit of golden armor strolled out. Sector Beast Morosa took one look and was instantly taken aback. A universe master? This video will end here.